What's going on, everyone? Jack here from HALFCHROME, and this is the Sub250 Nimble65. And as you can see, it's pretty much a traditional 65mm tiny whoop, and that's what it is. There are a few things that make this a little bit different. First of all, it's nice and bright. There are a couple of different color options that you can get with this. I opted for the green one. I believe there's a purple or a pink one, and yeah, it's great to have tiny whoops, new options coming out right now because it's cold, right? I live outside of Chicago and it is roughly freezing out there, and it's great to have something I can fly around in my home. I prefer the 65mm whoops when you're flying indoors. They're just easier to get through those gaps. They do less damage than bigger quads, and small. That's what Sub250 does, right? Sub250 meaning they're less than 250 grams. All of their drones are, and obviously tiny whoops generally are, but why 250? Well, that's kind of like the magic number here in the United States. If it's less than 250 grams, you don't have to register with the FAA, and it is not subject to remote ID. Not that none of that matters anyway if you're flying indoors, but it's just kind of good to know. And yes, you can fly this thing outside as well, but 65mm whoops shine inside. So let's talk about this guy and what makes it unique. First of all, we've got these Sub250 0802 25,000 kV motors, and they pack a pretty decent punch. These are props, looks like props in configuration. We've got an A30 battery connector, which means it's compatible with BT 2.0 or A30. I got a couple of Sub250 300 milliamp hour batteries, and they do a decent job. I was getting about 2.5 minutes of flight time before I got that land now warning, and yeah, I probably could have pushed it another 30 seconds. It's got an all-in-one flight controller. It is the looks like the Red Fox A1 5 amp. It's running Blue Jay ESC firmware at 96 kilohertz. The camera on this is the Caddx Ant Nano, which is a decent camera. Now, their stuff on their website say this is an HD camera. It is not. It is analog. I mean, maybe it technically could send an HD signal, but we're using analog stuff, so no, it's, I mean, watch the video, right? That's the quality you're gonna get. I think it's decent, right? It's fine. I think the image is a little oversaturated. I didn't bother to tune it down. That is something that you could do if you really wanted to. But yeah, this thing is a good little tiny whoop. I like that my motors here are connected via plugs versus being soldered on. Now that adds a little bit of weight, but that really does allow you to kind of customize this if you wanted to. I could put this on a different frame. I'm a big fan of the Pro 65 frames where you get a little bit more room to put a larger propeller. I may do that, or if I wanted, I could easily swap this to a 75mm frame. It's pretty darn simple and easy. Or if I broke something, or needed to replace a motor, I've had to do that. Much easier if you have plugs. Now this does weigh 21 grams, so it should be a little bit more durable than some of the lighter tiny whoops that are out there. Now I did crack a spindle right here at that junction point. Now you can't tell because I've already fixed it. I added a tiny bit of E6000 glue right there, and if you fly tiny whoops, you definitely need to get some E6000 glue. It's great for repairs. Plus, I put a dab right here on the UFL connector for that antenna, right? So the antenna that connects the video transmitter to the drone here, if that pops off, that can cause problems. So throw a dab of glue on that along with anywhere you may happen to break a spindle. Now I do like that this has a VTX that is power switchable up to 250 milliwatts. That means you can fly it pretty darn far, right? I typically, again, fly these things in my house, and I can go from my basement to my second floor all the way to my second story and not have any problems. And it's also nice that I can bump it back down to 25 milliwatts if I'm racing this against someone else. Now, I will not be racing this, but I will be donating this to our local high school drone racing team. Yeah, that's a thing. We've got a drone racing team at the high school. I'm our coach, and I do throw them a drone or two here and there. Now this does have an SPI built-in ELRS receiver, so you're going to need an ELRS controller. And some people don't like that it's SPI. They want a dedicated receiver, but I kind of like that it's SPI because I can just go into Betaflight, type in my binding phrase in Betaflight, hit enter, and boom, it's bound. I don't have to deal with Wi-Fi connections or any of that. The only other thing I did in Betaflight to this was add or turn on crash recovery. Crash recovery is if you're flying acro, and if you fly acro and you hit something that's really hard to recover, crash recovery basically makes it easier for you to recover from a crash. So those are the only two suggestions I have for this drone in terms of things that I would add. It's good. It's great to have another tiny whoop option, nice and colorful, less than $100. Yeah, check it out. If you're looking for one of these things, I'll have a link down below. It may or may not be an affiliate link. I don't think I have an affiliate partnership with Sub250, but that's fine, right? You know, whatever. Anyway, hope this review was helpful. Good luck, everyone, and happy flying.